A big concert, a big game, and a festival. It's shaping up to be a big weekend in Baltimore.
Good luck to the Baltimore Police Department out there.
Fox 45 News presses police on what they're doing to keep everyone safe. Homecoming festivities at Morgan State University were supposed to start tonight, but Tuesday's mass shooting has them canceled. The new action being taken to track down the suspects.
Absolutely not. It's a terrible idea. To me, that's jumping from the frying pan into the fire.
And a proposed bill in Annapolis would mean children would be charged as juveniles no matter the crime. We take a closer look at the plan and why lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are calling it a bad idea.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 10.
Three big events happening in Baltimore this weekend. The Fells Point Fun Fest, the Orioles' first playoff game, and the Stevie Nicks and Billy Idol concert in M&T Bank Stadium.
But recent high-profile cases is casting somewhat of a shadow on the excitement for some people. Good evening, I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Maxine Stryker. When the O's clinched the AL East Championship, a Howard County Sheriff's deputy was shot and killed at a Federal Hill bar while many were celebrating the win. And that has some asking what police will do to make sure everyone is safe this weekend. Now, police say they're looking for two shooters in the Morgan State University mass shooting, offering a reward for information. 5 people were hurt in that shooting Tuesday night, 4 of them Morgan State students. Fox 45's Keith Daniels will take a closer look at updates in the Morgan State shooting investigation in a few minutes. Our team coverage begins with Vincent Hill. He presses police on public safety. Vincent?
Yeah, Kai, a law enforcement expert says it will come down to 3 things: planning, creativity, and resources.
Thousands expected in Baltimore for what's shaping up to be a busy weekend. The O's look to get one step closer to the World Series. Rock stars Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks take center stage at M&T Bank Stadium. And Fells Point will be packed for the return of the Fells Festival. But in the backdrop of the fun, a rash of crimes, like the murder of 27-year-old music producer Chris Morton, shot inside his truck less than a mile from Camden Yards.
He was probably one of the most respectful people, very humble, very nice, didn't judge nobody.
And the shooting death of off-duty Howard County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan.
She was inside the Murphy Fine Arts Center for the coronation events, standing near the front door when bullets shattered the window, wounding her. Shard glass hit her in the leg in several places.
In that moment, I didn't feel safe on my own campus, and I never want to feel like that ever. And it's still scary because they still haven't found the person, or the people.
Well, if you have any information about this case, remember you can remain anonymous and could be eligible for a reward. You have to call Metro Crime Stoppers, the number on your screen. We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Keith, thank you. During today's news conference, the mayor doubled down on his claim that the violent crime in Baltimore is a nationwide issue, and he's calling on Congress to enact stricter gun legislation.
We have to, as I said the other night and I'll say it again, address, as you heard from the president, this nationwide epidemic of gun violence as a national issue.
Now the mayor is getting some pushback on that claim. In fact, the Randallstown, Baltimore County NAACP president tells Fox 45 News he believes the mayor should be taking more responsibility for what's happening in Baltimore.
He's right in a way that Congress can help. He's wrong in the fact that he's the mayor. This is not necessarily a national phenomenon. This level of violence in Baltimore is Baltimore.
Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost pressed the mayor on why he believes congressional help is the right approach.
Because it's their job.
Why can't you and other state leaders push for legislation at the state level to ensure there are tougher penalties for people who shoot and kill other people?
I think that when you look at Maryland's laws around guns and gun violence, we have some of the best in the country, Mackenzie. The guns are coming in from other places, other states. That is why this is a national issue. It's a both and, Mackenzie, not an either or.
Well, Fox 45 News did send questions to Mayor Brandon Scott asking why he hasn't supported those policies. If the plans are introduced again this year, will he support the legislation and use his position to urge other lawmakers to support them? If not, what specific bills is he and the Baltimore City delegation introducing to hold gun offenders accountable? And is it time for mandatory minimum sentences to be considered in Maryland for gun offenders? The mayor's office has not acknowledged our questions, ignoring the email, and so far has refused to answer.
Fox 45 News also pressing lawmakers and prosecutors about a proposed bill that would automatically charge children as juveniles.
How do you tell a victim's family that you can't charge someone as an adult because of their age when they've committed such a horrible act?
The system cannot handle what it's got right now.
Coming up at 10:15, the red flags prosecutors and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are raising, and the criticism from an unexpected place.
The road through postseason baseball on Fox 45 is sponsored by Johns Hopkins Children's Center.
So there's two starting pitchers for Saturday and Sunday. We're going to start Bradish game 1 and Grayson game 2. And that's what we're going to do this weekend.
Birdland, let me ask you this. Was there ever any doubt? You wanted Kyle Bradish on the mound for Game 1 of the ALDS. Well, now you have Kyle Bradish on the mound for Game 1 of the ALDS against the Rangers. And Bradish, over the course of the last season, has really established himself as the ace of this ball club. And now he gets to live out every young pitcher's dream. Bradish has been one of the best starting pitchers this season with a 2.83 ERA that ranks 4th best in baseball. A rookie in 2022, Bradish made significant strides to get to this point. Now in his second MLB season, he's getting set to pitch in the biggest game of his career.
It's an honor to start this first playoff game. I want to say thanks to Hyde and everybody else, but you know, this is what I expect out of myself. So I'm just really looking forward to it.
The improvements he's made over the course of the year, and the improvements he's made from last year, and he just had so many good starts for us, and we love his stuff. I like his makeup. He's pitched in some meaningful games down the stretch and pitched extremely well, and we feel we have a lot of confidence going with him going into Game 1.
While Bradish will throw out the actual first pitch, the ceremonial first pitch honors will go to Orioles great Adam Jones, and then you have Joan Jett singing the national anthem as Camden Yards is going to be electric. That atmosphere is going to be incredible, and the fans are going to be rocking for this one for sure. For now at Camden Yards, Rocco DeSangro for Sports Unlimited.
And we want to see how you're getting ready for Orioles playoff baseball. Share your favorite photos and videos to foxbaltimore.com/chime in or go to the WBFF app. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen.
And you can listen to Rocco and Ryan Ripken talk all things O's on the Rip and Rock podcast. New episodes drop every Monday. You can stream them anywhere you get your podcasts.
Fox 45 is your home for the 2023 World Series. The action starts Friday, October 27th. You can watch every game right here on Fox 45.
We've been enjoying a nice and warm trend, but that is going to come to an end as we get ready for the next weather maker. We have a cold front starting to work its way into the state, and that's already leading to some areas of rain. Coming up, I'll have a closer look at when you can expect rain around the Baltimore area and just how low the temperatures will get following the cold front and my Weather Authority forecast. Back to you.
On Fox 45 News at 10 o'clock tonight, our coverage of the Orioles playoff festivities continues at 10:30 tonight. How fans across Baltimore are getting pumped up for the postseason. Prince George's County arrests 3 people accused of robbing the same store 5 times in 1 week. The Hall police found, and why one business owner says he's not surprised. And former President Donald Trump throws his hat in the ring for Speaker of the House. why he's doing it, and how long the House could go without a leader. As the juvenile crime crisis continues to raise concerns in many Maryland communities, a proposed plan to automatically charge kids in the juvenile justice system is facing backlash.
As Mackenzie Frost explains, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are raising red flags tonight.
This proposal has been introduced for years, but prosecutors we're hearing from argue the juvenile services system right now is not providing adequate services, and any changes could potentially mean fewer consequences for young offenders. New Gonzalez polling showing Marylanders are looking for consequences, especially when it comes to juvenile offenders.
And what we found statewide, 59% of Marylanders say we need a strict approach. 35% said a more moderate approach.
But in Annapolis, with the legislative session just months away, the concern arising about another attempt to start young offenders in the juvenile system, regardless of crime committed.
I think that's a bad idea.
Calvert County State's Attorney Robert Harvey Jr. says juvenile crime is increasing in his area. And the idea of starting kids in the juvenile system could not only overburden an already stressed system, but send the wrong message, too.
How do you tell a victim's family that you can't charge someone as an adult because of their age when they've committed such a horrible act?
In 2023, Senator Jill Carter introducing the legislation.
So this bill simply...
Senate Bill 93. During testimony for her plan, Carter says kids' brains are not fully developed, and prosecutors can ask a judge to move the case to the adult system if necessary.
The burden should not be placed on children to convince a court, I'm a child.
Carter's plan dying in committee, like the same idea did in 2022 when introduced, and a House version in 2021.
The system cannot handle what it's got right now.
Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates says the Department of Juvenile Services is struggling to provide the necessary resources for kids it oversees. And the idea of automatically charging kids in the juvenile system?
Absolutely not. It's a terrible idea. To me, that's jumping from the frying pan into the fire.
While some lawmakers continue to push for the plan, voters indicate they support a tougher on crime approach. In addition to the Gonzalez poll showing the majority of voters support holding juvenile offenders accountable, a new Goucher poll shows Ivan Bates has the highest approval rating of all Baltimore City leaders.
57% of voters approve of what Bates is doing.
I'm sick of all the crime in Baltimore.
The same man who ran on a tough on crime platform when he ousted incumbent state's attorney Marilyn Mosby in 2022. Meanwhile, Harvey implores lawmakers to listen to what people on the ground are saying about juvenile crime laws.
I think we've seen across the board the results of some of this legislation. I'm not saying it wasn't well intentioned, but I think there has definitely been a backfire. I think we need to look long and hard before we can continue down that path.
And allow kids who commit violent crimes to start in the adult system, giving prosecutors the option to ask for the case to be moved to juvenile court instead.
This afternoon, we got a statement from House Speaker Adrienne Jones essentially throwing cold water on this proposal moving forward during the next session. In the statement, she says the DJS is not adequately providing services right now and is not set up to provide the rehabilitative services for young offenders who are committing crimes like rape and murder. In the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
Well, Fox 45 has now heard from more than a dozen state's attorneys across Maryland who represent more than 5.4 million people and 87% of the state's population. They say their hands are tied when it comes to holding young offenders accountable.
They know that, nothing's really going to happen to them if they keep their crime in a certain limit of types of crime.
They come in, we can't detain them, they're back in the community the next day.
We all have the same sad song, no matter where we are in the state.
State's attorneys are taking issue with two laws, the Juvenile Justice Reform Act, which limits children 13 and under from facing most charges, and the Child Interrogation Act, which prevents police from questioning juvenile suspects without attorney and parent permission. That brings us to our question of the day now. Should kids be automatically charged as an adult regardless of the crime they commit? So far, 90% of voters say yes. You can head to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in.
House Speaker Adrienne Jones and Senate President Bill Ferguson are two of the most powerful lawmakers in Annapolis. If you'd like to contact them about public safety legislation, their phone numbers and email addresses are here on your screen.
And if you would like to connect with more of your elected leaders, our website is making it easy. Go to foxbaltimore.com, click the menu at the top left of your screen, and select Lawmakers. From there, you can enter your home address to find the officials who represent you at the local, state, and federal levels.
New tonight, officers from the Northern District and City Councilwoman Odette Ramos joined community members for a prayer walk for peace. Both residents and the councilwoman say the goal is to build a better relationship between officers and the community which they serve.
In order for you to make a change in this city, you know what I'm saying, you got to do these type of things. You got to come in the neighborhood and get with the community and get with the people and talk to them.
We have also emphasized to Commissioner Worley and to other leaders that community policing is what needs to be done. So getting the police out of the cars into the neighborhood, really seeing on the ground what we see on the ground is.
Well, community policing has been a big topic of conversation during the police commissioner's recent town halls and confirmation hearings. Many residents and city leaders emphasizing the importance of officers getting out of their cars and engaging with the community. The commissioner has said more community policing could have helped prevent the Brooklyn Day mass shooting because officers in the community might have learned about the block party earlier.
How long will the House of Representatives go without a speaker? And why does Donald Trump say he's willing to fill in on that job if need be? I'm Scott Dubin in Washington to sort it all out.
We are getting ready for big changes this weekend. First, we've got the chance for showers overnight, and the rain does continue into the day tomorrow. Temperatures reach the low 70s, and then for Sunday and Monday, we're talking the mid 60s. Coming up, I'll let you know how long this cooler trend lasts and when we'll have a warm up in my Weather Authority forecast.
Our live look at Camden Yards as we head to break. Fans will flood the ballpark tomorrow for the Orioles' first postseason game against the Texas Rangers. We'll have much more on how the city's getting ready for the playoffs coming up at 10:30. Making headlines, Representative Kevin McCarthy says he's not leaving Congress after sources connected with the former Speaker of the House said he would step down after a new Speaker is elected.
It comes as the fight over who will be the next Speaker of the House intensifies as two frontrunners emerge and Donald Trump throws his hat into the ring.
A vote is expected next week. Sinclair's chief political correspondent, Scott Thuman, has the latest.
It is a tale of two Trumps, one making an endorsement for the next Speaker of the House, the other offering to do the job himself if need be. Trump's pick, Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan.
Look, I like the job I got now. I never wanted to do this job, but someone has to, who can bring the team together and can go communicate to the country, and that's why I'm running.
Trump posting Jordan is strong on crime, borders, our military, vets, and Second Amendment. He's competing with current House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana.
Day one, Speaker Steve Scalise, you will see challenge President Biden to sit down and start talking about the crisis at the border that everybody in America knows is a major problem that he doesn't want to solve.
Either would face a daunting challenge if handed the gavel, as Republicans struggle to find common ground within the party and meet demands for more responsible spending by those who ousted Kevin McCarthy. The initiator, Matt Gaetz, spoke to the national desk.
Kevin McCarthy built the yellow brick road of working with Democrats. He did so initially on the debt limit deal that abolished the debt limit that allows Joe Biden to accrue as much debt as he wants until January of 2025. Now I think we can really rise from the ashes.
But should no one be able to get a majority vote, Trump telling Fox News he is willing to become Speaker, which is allowed even though he's not a member of the House.
I will do it if necessary. Should they not be able to make their decision, I would only do it for the party. Oh, this makes things interesting.
Yes, it does.
Even more interesting.
Yeah.
But with such a slim margin, remember, Republicans just have a 9-seat advantage in the House. The whole party has to practically unify behind a single candidate. And if not, just look to Kevin McCarthy to see what else can happen. On Capitol Hill, I'm Scott Thuman.
Go O's! Go O's!
Let's go, Orioles!
What a voice she has. We're hours away from the Orioles' first playoff game at Camden Yards. How fans in Baltimore and beyond are getting ready to cheer on their team.
President Biden's border policy is taking a very different shape than they have in the past. I'm Kayla Gaskins, and coming up, why some Democrats are stunned at the changes.
We're following three big stories right now at 10:30.
President Biden is quietly adopting a signature piece of Donald Trump's political playbook. A look at the changes and why some Democrats are stunned.
Prince George's County Police announcing arrests in what they call a string of retail thefts the Hall police found, and why business owners say they're not surprised.
It's like Christmas Eve for Orioles fans. The Birds will take on the Texas Rangers at Camden Yards tomorrow in their first playoff game since they clinched their first AL East title in 9 years.
The team held a pep rally today outside of City Hall to get fans pumped for the big game.
That's right. Fox 45's Olivia Dance was there, and she has a look at the fanfare.
Usually it's Purple Friday, but today we're wearing orange, representing the Orioles ahead of the playoffs. I got on my Orioles hat. Now, Camden Yards is completely empty, but tomorrow that will be a different story as it will be filled with fans. And we spoke with many of those excited fans today.
That was an American League Championship spelling.
The energy all across Baltimore is electric.
Let's celebrate the success of the Orioles. And let's go O's!
With the Orioles as the AL East champions and preparing for their first playoff game on Saturday.
I am greatly excited. I have been excited about a team since '83.
There's a lot to be excited about.
To support the Orioles, and I'm happy that they're going. It's been so long, first of all, and I'm just happy to see them go to the playoffs at least. Hopefully they'll make it to the World Series, but it gives us something to look forward to. There's so much stuff going on.
On Friday, a postseason rally outside City Hall.
So that's why we're having this rally today. It's because of the Orioles and the magnificent season they've had.
Getting the team and the fans pumped for the playoffs.
The fans definitely have a big impact on the playoff.
The first playoff game on our home turf at Camden Yards against the Texas Rangers.
We are so proud of this team, and we're going to show the Texas Rangers that everything is bigger in Texas, including these losses that they're about to get.
Black and orange taking over the city.
I got number 5 on to honor Brooks.
Many hoping for a World Series win in honor of the great Brooks Robinson, number 5, who passed away just before the playoffs.
This is one of the best, and I'm proud to be part of this magic. It hasn't been this good since Brooks Robinson days.
It would be the first World Series championship since 1983.
We love the Orioles, you love the Orioles, and we're about to go out and win a World Series.
But first things first, winning Saturday's game.
I think winning the first game is huge. They need to get that momentum. You know, the pitching needs to be there. Our bullpen needs to be better. I think they definitely got a shot, though. It's going to be a good match.
And no matter what.
Go O's!
Go O's!
Let's go, Orioles!
Go O's and go Birds, period.
Let's go, O's! Let's go, O's! Let's go, O's!
Let's Go O's is right, and tomorrow's game starts at exactly 1:03 in the afternoon right here at Camden Yards. Of course, don't forget to wear your black and orange. But for now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News.
Well, we're already getting lots of pictures from O's fans showing off their Orioles pride. Tom went to the stenciling event this morning. He sent us this picture of the Orioles logo, freshly painted on his car in front of Camden Yards, all lit up orange. And Casey sent us this video of her little Orioles fan blowing a good luck kiss to the team. She's adorable in that little jersey and orange bow. I love it. And take a look at these ladies, all decked out in Orioles merch, complete with orange nails. Thanks to Tiffany for that picture. Now, we want to see how you're getting ready for Orioles playoff baseball. Share pictures and videos of you in your favorite Orioles gear. You can make submissions at foxbaltimore.com/chime-in or on the WBFF app. You can also scan the QR code on your screen.
By the way, you can catch up on all things O's with the Rip and Rock podcast. Ryan Ripken and our own Rocco DeSangro will break down all the new episodes every Monday. You can stream them anywhere you get your podcasts. Fox 45 is your home for the 2023 World Series. That action starts Friday, October 27th. You can watch every game right here on Fox 45.
Prince George's County Police announcing arrests in what they call a string of retail thefts. 3 people accused of targeting the same location 5 times within a week. Brad Bell with our Sinclair sister station in Washington has the story.
Since mid-September, it's been a near daily nightmare for stores in the Rivertown Shopping Center in Oxon Hill. Groups of thieves cleaning off store shelves.
They come in, they will look around, and sometimes it's one or two or three, just depending, and then snatch and grab. Just a snatch and grab situation, and they just run out.
Eddie is a regional manager of the Last Stop store here. He says it's been even worse at the store next door.
And they get hit big time.
So police have been looking for the getaway car spotted after the thefts, and this week they found it. The break leading to the arrest of these three people, 18, 19, and 26 years old. And when police searched their home, they found these piles of stolen goods. Police say the trio hit this one store, this Bath and Body Works off of Oxon Hill Road, 7 times over the course of a couple of weeks, each time stealing thousands of dollars worth of merchandise.
They would come in, they would put all the merchandise in a bag, they would flee out in a vehicle, and away they would go.
PGPD Captain Craig Weingartner says the three are currently facing charges connected to 10 different snatch and grab thefts. At the shopping center, there's hope it leads to at least a pause in the crime. But even Weingartner admits it's become a fad and a damaging one.
The problem with these incidents is it causes these big box stores to shutter their doors and close, and it impacts the local economy, it takes away jobs from the community, and it has a ripple effect across the area.
In Oxon Hill, Maryland, Brad Bell, Fox 45 News.
Well, there have been a number of problems with retail theft in the Baltimore area as well. At least 2 restaurants near Camden Yards have been broken into in recent weeks. In one case, the business owner told Fox 45 News thieves smashed through his door and ran with his cash register and bottles of alcohol. And we've also seen a few businesses forced to close their doors because of retail theft. That includes Eddie's in Mount Vernon earlier this summer. The owners of the beloved grocery store says that they can't open right now because of thefts and had knives pulled out on them at times. Fox 45 News has heard from a number of business owners who say the city isn't doing enough to protect them. They say calls have gone unanswered.
But when you try to apply for it, it's just one hurdle over another hurdle, and you don't get frustrated and you just give up. Do they care? I don't know.
These incidents that they happen is a downfall, not of the business, is a downfall of the security of the city.
Well, retail theft is a growing problem across the nation. Our Sinclair sister station in Washington, D.C. captured this video here of empty store shelves at a CVS. Sources say that's because of shoplifting. And in Philadelphia last week, several stores were looted across the city. Video shows people breaking into stores through windows, taking bags full of items. 72 people have since been charged in connection with the looting there. The National Retail Federation just released its annual security survey. It shows so-called shrinkage accounted for more than $112 billion in losses last year. That's an industry term for measuring inventory loss, which isn't always a result of theft. However, thefts do account for 2/3 of retail shrinkage.
Taking a look at the Fox box right now on the top left, a Wisconsin County Circuit Court ruled a school district can't hide students' gender identity from parents. The judge's ruling says the issue is about medical treatment, not education. The district says it will now require written parental consent if and when using a student's name and pronouns that aren't in line with their sex at birth.
The top right, the American Association of Colleges of Nursing is reporting more than 78,000 qualified students were not offered jobs last year, despite ongoing problems with staffing shortages. Thousands of Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers went on strike this week, protesting staffing shortages. That strike ended today.
On the bottom left, the United Auto Workers Union will not expand strikes after concession from General Motors. The company agreed in writing to place its electric battery manufacturing under the union's National Master Agreement, assuring electric vehicle battery plants will be unionized.
Bottom right, more buses filled with migrants from the southern border are showing up in Denver. City leaders say the numbers have grown so quickly they have to shorten the length of time people can stay in temporary shelters.
President Biden's border policy takes a different turn than it has in the past. National correspondent Kayla Gaskins has the story.
President Biden quietly implementing a signature piece of Donald Trump's political brand.
We will build a great wall along the southern border.
The news breaking in the form of a quiet announcement, stunning many because of campaign promises like this.
There will not be another
foot of wall constructed on my administration.
On paper, the administration cites high illegal entry as the reason for constructing physical barriers. In person, the administration sounding very different.
Do you believe the border wall works?
No.
From day one, this administration has made clear that a border wall is not the answer.
To resume construction, the White House waiving 26 environmental rules, Biden arguing they had no choice.
We tried to ask the Congress to consider changing the law.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez urging President Biden to take responsibility for this decision and reverse course. Another new Biden policy, fast-tracked deportations of Venezuelans who crossed illegally after July 31st. In that group, these migrants we spoke to outside a shelter in Chicago.
So she's here with her husband and her son.
Chicagoans growing increasingly upset with the arrivals.
We're not anti-migrants, but it shouldn't be on our backs.
As the city continues turning public places into shelters. Mayor Brandon Johnson now planning a visit to the border. New York City's Mayor Eric Adams is in Latin America this week. In Massachusetts, military families left scrambling as the city canceled a slew of hotel rooms for the upcoming Army-Navy game at Gillette Stadium in order to house migrants.
Biden's policy changes coming as he struggles in the polls ahead of next year's election. Voters in a recent NBC News poll by a 30-point margin say Republicans would do a better job at securing the border over Democrats. I'm Kayla Gaskins reporting.
That brings us to our national question of the day. Do you trust the Biden administration to take steps to improve the situation at the U.S.-Mexico border? So far, 97% of voters say no. Head to foxbaltimore.com/vote and click on the Pulse tab to weigh in.
Toxic chemicals are seeping into America's water supply. Spotlight on America takes those issues to elected leaders and asks who should take the blame.
And we are keeping track of a few showers to our west. I'll let you know when the rain reaches the Baltimore metro and how it could impact your plans tomorrow in my Weather Authority forecast.